Back to another ClearMud live stream. Let me make sure we're live here. Let's switch there. Make sure we're live here. Perfect. All right, let me switch that. So, in the past weeks, we've kind of evolved this live stream to just build things, right? Cover news. Last 2 weeks, I've been working on this new idea that I'm gonna deploy onto clearmud.app. But before we continue that, I have this tool I've been working on since, I wanna say August or September. And it's gone through countless iterations, and it's so close to launching. But I've recently gotten some client work, which has been taking up a lot of my free time, which I'm very grateful for. Don't get me wrong, it's been a while since I've had client work, and I love it. But this has been put on the back burner because of that. So I thought, instead of building tools on this live stream that may not go live anytime soon, let's finish and deploy this. It's already deployed on its main domain, but I ran into an issue, so I took it offline. So if you were to go to this domain, you don't see anything yet. But it's just so close to being launched. So let's launch it here on the live stream. And hopefully we launch it today. Maybe we launch it next week. But I'm gonna start focusing this live stream on launching SaaS products. Making sure I show you the process as much as I can anyway. And yeah, so let's open up the most recent session. Let's do Claude, continue, and it should pull up my most recent session where we're testing all of the different accounts. Perfect. Okay. So here we are. Let me restore the to-do list. Testing professional plan. Next up is business plan. We got to verify Stripe webhooks are receiving events. Test subscription cancellation flow. Test plan upgrade flow. All right, perfect. So let's run another test here. I've already tested out the Explorer plan, the rate limiting and everything. And that's one thing I really want to make sure is dialed in, is the rate limiting. So free accounts can't just burn through the API usage. Let's go ahead and pick, let's pick a hotel for my college town, shall we? Let's go San Luis Obispo. Let's do Hilton Garden, and let's do professional at hospitalityllmo.com. I removed Google Auth for this because I didn't want to pay for Supabase, which I'm using for the backend on this, which I'm already regretting building off of. I really want to convert it to Convex, but what I'll end up doing is when I build out this tool for other industries, I'm going to use Convex instead. So let's open up my email. I just set professional at hospitality. I essentially created an email for each plan so I can test it accordingly. Let me make sure, okay. And this is what it looks like for anybody curious. You get this email here. And let's copy link address, paste that in there. And it's gonna get to work. So what this tool essentially is it's an audit tool for the hospitality industry. What it'll do is, ooh, interesting. Interesting. What happened? Okay. Let's go audit history. We can see our past audits here. Let's just kind of show you what this looks like. It's a tool that analyzes your visibility as a hotel across LLM search engines, right? ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini primarily. It'll give us an overview. It'll show competitors. I have this map here that shows competitors kind of within a certain range. And then we have competitor insights, which requires a business plan to view that. So we're going to be testing that in a moment. And then I have these recommendations as well that, you know, based off of how your hotel scores and comes up in the LLMs, it will give recommendations as to what you need to do, right? In the professional plan, it just gives you kind of like the headline. But then in the business plan, which is meant for agencies or people with their own staff to accomplish all this, it'll give you step-by-step on what to do, and then also scope of work. So if you're a digital agency and you want to do this for one of your hotel clients, you can build them out accordingly, show them as much information as you'd like, and it's literally, you just pass it off to your dev team, and step-by-step, it shows you exactly what you need to do to accomplish, you know, each task, each recommendation rather. And yeah, let's see what Claude said though, because it's very odd. I just ran a test yesterday and it was fine. I'm using Railway to host this. I mean, we are logged in. Oops. All right, let's try one more time. San Luis Obispo Quality Suites, and we'll go professional, run a test. Okay, now it's getting to work. Must have just been a hiccup. So here's the process. This was inspired by Manus. Rather than just giving you, a refresh wheel, it shows you step by step what's being asked. It shows you, oh, okay, look, it's prompting ChatGPT. It's prompting Gemini, prompting Claude, right? So it's kind of like a console terminal that shows you everything that it's doing. And it does take a while due to some features that I've added. It used to be very quick, but the data that it gave you back, it just wasn't actionable. It wasn't valuable. So first we have 4 prompts that we ask each of the 4 LLMs that we cover. And then we do one competitor prompt for each of those 4 LLMs. And then it analyzes the competitors. It generates personalized recommendations based off of your visibility, right? The responses from those LLMs. And right now it's doing all of the, I think, most critical part of the audit. And it does take about a minute or so, sometimes 90 seconds to complete. So let me close everything else. We're eventually going to, gotta log back in there. We are using Cloudflare for this one. I'm not logged in at the moment. We're gonna use Redis via Upstash for a more comprehensive rate limiting approach, but for now, what we have in place works. So I just wanna push this thing live as soon as possible. Create some demo videos, do some, promotional posts. And I thought, what better place to work on this than our live stream? So okay, recommendations are ready. And in the meantime, let me actually, I'm not sure if I created that alias for the business plan yet. Professional, explore, yeah, let's add business. All right, and here's the results. As you can see, that took about 2 minutes if you round up. Gives us our summary here. You can click into this and it'll take you into that tab. Same with competitive analysis. It summarizes things. You click into that tab, right? And one little fun feature I added is the background is actually a Google Maps API of the actual location. So it's super zoomed in, but love to see it. Oh, interesting. Did that bypass? I feel like that might be bypassing, clicking on that versus competitive insights. Interesting. I gotta look into why. I could have sworn that this should have been blocked. Okay. All right, that was a hiccup. It's working now. I just ran another test and I'm noticing something on the competitors section. The view competitive insights button does have, the fail-safe. If you're not a business sub, it, lets you know, has an upgrade feature called action. But when I just click on the entire tile, it actually does pull up what appears to be what we were supposed to be blocking. So run a quick test, pull up Chrome and Claude if you need to. I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be blocked. And I think one way to approach this could be to allow them to click on the entire tile of the competitor, But the competitive intelligence below that green divider on the pop-up, I think should be blurred, because that should be a business related feature, right? Because it shows all the details of what to do, how to accomplish it to increase visibility and beat the competitors. Interesting. Why is that taking so long? All right, scratch that. Looks like it's working. Just a quick test. Yeah, something's going on here. Let me see what's going on with my whisper flow. Audio silent. Huh. Settings, system. Wonder if just maybe the mic's not configured? I mean, should just be using the default. Let me just try closing it out and reopening it. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's working now. That was weird. All right, scratch that. It looks like it's working. That was a hiccup. I'll continue to test as we move on to the business plan shortly. I was doing one more test on the professional account with professional subscription access. And I'm noticing on competitors, you know, you click the view competitive insights button and it does have a call to action if it's not a business subscription. However, when you click on the entire tile for that competitor, it looks like it pops up what we're supposed to be blocking. So I think one thing we should incorporate is allow the pop-up to occur, right? And the top performance score, distance from hotel, AI visibility, all that stuff, quick insights, I think should be available. But then the AI competitive intelligence below the green border on the pop-up, that's the information that should only be accessible in the business plan. So I think we should blur that or add a call to action there. What is going on with Whisper Flow today? That's really annoying. Okay, it's working. It just had a lot there. Remember, merge to main. We are in prod. Great. Let's go verify that new build's being pushed. Perfect. All right, perfect. Performance score, distance, visibility, quick insights. There we go. I'm glad I caught that. I'm sure glad I caught that, but let me continue showing off the tool. It also gives you a record of the console and then the original prompts and responses from each LLM, right? So it's a pretty fun tool and I've been sitting on it for far too long. So we're launching it. We're launching it live. Hopefully this week. If not, I think we'll be ready for next week's live stream. And then, you know, moving forward, I do plan on live streaming, you know, at least twice a week, maybe 3 times a week. We'll be back stateside soon, so the time will not change for these live streams. We'll just wait here until that's done. I have an idea to kind of change. I like this building in public title, but there's no reference of what we're building with. Building in public with Claude Code, I think. Maybe just building in public. I mean, but yeah, the series coming soon is Building in Public, a YouTube creator SaaS with Claude Code. That's one I'm very excited. I'm very excited for that tool because I've built so many different tools that do so many different things and I want to bring them all into one app. And if you look at past live streams, especially the past 2 weeks, we've been playing with different approaches, but I want to rebuild the foundation from scratch because I just have a different idea of how to approach it. All right, so we're live. So let's go back, run another test. We're gonna do a hard refresh, try fresh audit, and let's do a hotel in Santa Barbara now. Santa Barbara in, let's go professional. Yeah, and there's no confusion as to another fun feature I incorporated is it uses a Google Maps API to make sure that that's actually a location. So you generally just pick from the drop down and then it fills out the rest for you. Copy link address. Love it, no errors, everything's working. Next we test business and I can show you exactly what's included in the business plan as well. Now most people won't care about this console. I think it's a nice touch. It shows step by step what we're doing, how we're doing it. And then internally on the tool, we have our own logic in place. You know, if then. The data that we provide, right? It's all based off of essentially a brain that we created. Let me see if I can give you a sneak peek into that. No, where did I put that? is also a mess. I need to clean this up. I think it would be under build docs. No? Or just docs, architecture. Yeah, this is our AI recommendation system. The flow of how it works. Competitor insights analysis, the flow of how it works, right? So each time the model runs, it references this. This is baked into its logic. So a lot of work has gone into this tool. You know, at this point, 4 months of solid work with some breaks, right? I would take some breaks off of building this tool just to kind of refresh my energy. But it's time we launch this dang thing. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. So let's go back down to competitors. Click this. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I think that's okay for now. It's a little nitpicky thing of mine that I'll change. Okay, great. Let's go back to professional. This is set as professional. Perfect. Audits completed 10. So actually, if we go to billing and 10 per month, so now if I were to go run another one, this is good that we reached 10. Let's pick something over in Lisbon, Marriott Hotel, professional. Now it should let us know, right? I incorporated a kind of a call to action, letting you know that you reached your cap for the month. So let me go copy link address. And here's why I removed Google Auth. It's because it would auth with this domain, right? And Supabase is very annoying in the sense of like, you have to upgrade an account and then everything is an add-on. It would have costed me like $50 just to get that custom domain where I can do it free elsewhere, but I've already incorporated so much time into building on Supabase, I didn't want to make that change yet. So that's why we're not doing Google Auth yet. We're just doing magic links. Voila, audit limit reached. So we know the rate limiting is working on the professional plan. We know it's sound across the entire app. You can go upgrade now and it takes you to the pricing page. And this should take the user, to a Stripe checkout. I mean, everything appears to be working great. So what we're gonna do now is sign out, hit hard refresh, try fresh audit, and let's do Morro Bay, the first city I lived in as a young adult. All right, Morro Bay Beach Inn, and then we're gonna do business. hospitalityllmo.com. Perfect. Copy link address. All right, and it's getting to work. I love it. I love it. also test hospitalityllmo.com. Voila. I think I might eventually move this or change it. Kind of like the idea of putting it on the left or maybe even the top. Yeah, let's try moving comments to the top right, or top left rather. Since we're waiting for that to run, I really want to look into maybe changing this entire minimal clean. Let's do glass morphism instead. Whoops. Copy link. Properties. We're going to edit that. Hit OK. Try to pin that one more time. Oh, wow. That actually looks pretty cool, but I don't like that faint background. So let's do maybe modern glass? No. I mean, I like it. It's just the background needs to be changed. I think this is something I'll test another time. So let me go back to, let's try neon glow. Oh, you know what? I like that more. That's great. Okay. All right, let's go test the business plan, shall we? So let's go to analysis, competitors. Oh, you know what? I haven't manually set that. All right, professional done and tested. I just ran a test for business at hospitalityllmo.com, which is a new account I created to give access. We need to give access via Supabase to make sure that this email address has a business plan attached to it, because currently everything's blurred. Yeah, and this is how I've been testing. Rather than actually paying for them, since we're already in production, we're in production on Stripe, we're in production on Railway. I didn't want to have to spend money to test. So there's a trick I can do within Supabase on the account to give it access to a specified subscription model. Run this in Supabase. All right. Success. Let's verify. Business active, wonderful. All right, so let's go to our profile and dashboard. Let's go back to view results, and it should have everything unlocked for us now. Wonderful, wonderful. Look at that, it's all unlocked. Great, let's go to recommendations. Pop this down. You can see all the details here. And then I also have a Calendly link set where they can schedule a time if they want to hire us to actually implement these steps, right? So wonderful. I mean, this is working. One thing I do want to do, first test was a flying success. I love it. Now, before I continue testing on the business plan, what fail-safes do we have in place to make sure that there is no demo data being returned? I want to make sure that each audit, and I believe we've done this in the past, but please refresh my memory of if the audit ever doesn't pull the data it needs to pull and doesn't give a response based off of our logic, our brain, that it gives an error saying try again. Is this correct? Okay. Probably could have articulated that much better. Why are there so many of these icons on my top bar? That's weird. What is going on? Probably because I was troubleshooting that so much. Main audit shows error message. No fallback data will be shown. No fallbacks. Okay, good. Competitors can return fake data. No. Yes. Ooh. Yes, fix it. You know, just as we implemented in the past, if the data isn't returned or fetched, it should trigger an error saying, please run the audit one more time, right? And we had this working, but it looks like competitors can return fake data, right? I think we had this working for the actionable recommendations, but I didn't check to see if it was the case for competitors as well. Wonderful. All right. Now, I think we can improve this page as well, but I think it's good for now. And then what about on the overview tab on the audit results, the summaries for each tab, right? That's not fallback data. That's all proper, forgive me, that's all actual data that we're pulling, right? All fallback methods removed, no fake data allowed. If real data cannot be fetched, the audit will show an error asking user to re-entry. Good. All right, looks like it's gonna push its change. We'll run another test. Wonderful. Oh yeah, that was a bug. Reopen social stream. Okay, great. Let's make sure we're selecting a live source. Voila. In the meantime, let me actually pull that off, log into Stripe really quickly. Resend. This is something we're going to incorporate in future builds. Let me actually pull up my... It's minor. Yeah. This is actually something I want to incorporate later on. Okay, we are live. So let's go back, run another test, hard refresh. Let's pick something in, let's do an EB's Hotel, Barcelona. And let's do business at hospitality.com. Let's confirm magic link. Let me also make sure this is something we're going to incorporate down the road, but there is an admin section. Good. I did encrypt that with an admin user and login. But that's where I'm going to go in and eventually have white label options where, and also, you know, I think version 2 of this app, it's going to first analyze the hotel, what type of hotel it is, what type of hotel it'd like to be known as, or maybe give the user options to do that. That way, you know, the questions that we prompt, right now they're very generic. They cover all bases. But if it's specifically a luxury hotel, it's luxury hotel related questions. If it's simply a boutique hotel, it's boutique hotel related questions. Resorts, resort related questions, right? That's something we haven't incorporated yet because I just wanted to dial in the brain, the logic, the system first. And then that's something that's a layer 0 that we can incorporate before everything gets started, where those prompts change depending on the type of hotel. All right, great. Competitors, everything's visible. Wonderful. Recommendations. We need to fix that, don't we? We also need to test this export scope. Put that on the desktop. Oh, wow, we need to fix this. Interesting. Wow, that's ugly. Very ugly. Okay, so two things. All right, great. Tests appear to be working. One note I have is the pop-up call to action when a user in the business subscription expands the accordion for any given recommendation. There's a too complex call to action that pops up at that point. It has this purple gradient. I think we should rebrand that to our brand color, some type of green gradient instead of that purple. And then you can remove the icon from there as well. That star looking icon, I think it should just be the text and the button. And then the button, instead of a rocket, it should be a calendar emoji. And then secondly, the export scope of work PDF looks incredibly ugly. I'm gonna give you a screenshot. Please download whatever skill you need that's in Anthropic's database to make sure that the export to PDF actually looks good and looks like a professional PDF that a digital agency can present to their client and feel confident in its looks. Okay, and then I have a screenshot. I do want to show it. Okay, some minor changes there. Wonderful. Yeah, let me check Anthropic. We might have to create our own skill here. Let's see. I'm actually going to let it do its thing. And if it doesn't do it to a point where we like it, then I'll go in and create a Claude skill incorporated into this project for that portion of the kind of like the PDF design output. Whoops. Excuse me. And while that's working, I'm gonna BRB real quick. All right. Sorry about that. Duty called. All right, deployed. See how it does? Perfect. Let's go and see if we can't just do a refresh into our audit history. See this one and see if that doesn't automatically. Yeah, look at that. Nice, nice. Much better. Much better. Good enough for now. We can improve, but good enough for now. Let's check the export scope to PDF. Whoops. Okay. Hey, much better, but still not perfect. So I'm gonna give it these screenshots and see if it can't find anything wrong with it. Okay, boop, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, much better on the PDF, but I'm gonna attach some images so that you can see it's still not finely tuned. What do we have to do here? Should I create a skill that, you know, a PDF canvas design skill of some sort? Like, we really want to nail this PDF so that it doesn't, you know, look, I mean, it looks better. Don't get me wrong. You did a great job. But as you can see, like, you know, from one page to the next, it's cut off, right? It's not properly formatted. Some of the numbers and the squares and the icons in the squares, the numbers are like attached to the bottom border of those elements. So we have room for improvement here. Okay. Okay, so it's going to use a different approach rather than HTML to canvas. It's going to use jsPDF's native drawing methods. I'm going to trust it. I've never used either one of these, to be honest. So we'll see how this does. Forgive the texting, my mother dearest. Just while Claude's working, I figure it's a perfect time to respond, so. All right, let's check this PDF export now. I mean, we're literally aside from a few minor things I'm going to do for version 2, right? We are so close. I mean, we're pretty much ready to launch. Deployed. We're just fine tuning some things like the PDF export. You know, I should probably, we're going to test, you know, canceling a subscription. We're going to test Stripe webhooks. We should probably run another security audit, although I've already run 3 throughout, you know, me building this over the past couple of months. I think it's good enough for a soft launch, but I think version 2 will definitely, you know, we'll have this rate limiting via Upstash or Redis rather incorporated. But the rate limiting that we have in place is, I mean, it's working. So, all right. That's still building, so I can't test the PDF yet, but we are so close. And then it's a matter of creating some demos, creating some promotional videos. I don't know, we might do the soft launch today, and then I'll do a post on LinkedIn, very minor, saying finally, you know, we're live. And then over this coming week, I'm going to create a marketing plan with, you know, frequent posting, demos, things like this, promotions as well. We'll eventually create our own YouTube video for it, you know, showing in-depth, step-by-step, like how it works, what plan gets what. But those are still things I do want to fine-tune just a little bit. And then there's one feature that we're not going to put for the soft launch, but I want to use resend to send an email once the audit's done, because in reality, not every person who goes and runs an audit is going to sit here and wait at the terminal. They might X their page, they might forget. So sending an email with a link to the results, I think is critical, right? I think it's going to be a very nice feature to incorporate, but that's not required for launch, right? So wait, you guys hear the background music, right? Yeah, good. Okay, we are live. So let's do a quick hard refresh. Go into our audit history. Let's go to the older one. Recommendations, export PDF. Hey, it's getting better. It is getting so much better. Huh. It's getting so much better. Page 1, 2, and 3. Okay. All right, we're getting there. It's much, much better, but it's still not perfect. I think we should also incorporate our logo into the header, our branding, our website, right? I love the initial page though. It looks good. It's much better, but now we have this big empty white space on the footer of the first page. I think if we reduce the size of the header, make it a little bit more condensed, that you would have room for supporting evidence. You can also see that there's some weird, you know, some of the numbers are centered behind the elements, but some aren't. Like there's a dot for expected impact. I'm not sure what that is. Success criteria. There's an and. I'm not sure you put everything there. And then the footer is too condensed. I think we should just have a simple footer centered with our logo, and then hospitalityllmo.com I think is critical. And then maybe a prepared for, right? But that's it. So do you think we need to create a skill, or can you make these changes to optimize our PDF export so that Actually, yeah, scratch that. I mean, is that enough? One other thought I have is providing the user on the entire recommendations page. Actually, never mind, scratch that. Let's just move on with what I mentioned. Okay. All right, drag all 3 photos on there. I mean, it's close. It's very, very close. Ooh, my stomach feels that it is dinner time. Yeah, I think, you know, this version is much better than the past versions. Just remember, I think simple is the move, right? I like the flair that we have, but incorporating our brand logo is important. And then just simplicity, clear sections that the user's eyes can gravitate to. I think we'll nail it with this next fix. Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. See if it asks me any questions here. Yeah, I think the way you color coded each kind of section was great. But just remember, I think simplicity is going to win here. Oh, perfect. I mean, I do have another account we can swap to, but I think once we max out our usage here, this is a great stopping point because I am starved. Haven't eaten all day and it is 6 p.m. So it is time to break that fast and get some food in me. And I'm excited. It's supposed to snow here off and on Saturday morning, but then it's going to rain later in the day, obviously, once it starts to warm up. Whew, I'm waking up at the crack of dawn with my photo, and I'm going to go out and walk the city, and hopefully I get some nice photography. I'm very excited for this. As much as my body is better with warmth, I just had the thought, though, to go check the farm to see if it's going to be snowing in that village over there. because I will also, for the Portugal 10-day. Yep, it's the same rain/snow. Let's go hour by hour. Yeah, snow showers early in the morning when it's still cold there as well. Ooh. Next 8 hours. Oh man. Oh, it might be cool to go over there too. I don't have a 4x4 over here though. Shoot. Let me check the village as well. Because the village, I mean, if there's a lot of snow there as well, it's lower in elevation than that city I just checked. It's all about an hour away. Yeah, Saturday snow to rain. Let's check the hourly. Yep. I mean, it's gonna snow 5 a.m., pretty much 12 a.m. to 9 a.m. snow showers. Okay. Let's go back to this app here. Looks like it did just launch. Let me go here, hard refresh. Go back into audit history, view results, recommendations, exports. Nothing was done. To me, it looks like nothing was done. Let me run a fresh audit really quickly just to make sure that that's not cached data. Even though I did a hard refresh. We'll report back. Give me 1 minute. All right, let's run another audit just to be thorough here. This time we'll use Lisbon Lounge Hotel. We want business. Yeah, you know, it might be better for me to go to the village on Saturday morning rather than stay here, because it's a mix of rain and snow. Ew. I don't know if that's gonna be good to photograph as much. Magic link, copy link address. Let it run. I like the blue grid more, but I might switch over to that at some point. All right. All the tests have been running great. Let's go into our recs. Let's go export to PDF. Grab that. And let's view it. Okay. It's better. It's better. It's better. It's better, but it's not perfect. Arg. All right, let's grab this one. All right. We're almost there. It's much better, but it's still not the best that it could be. So I'm gonna paste some screenshots and share my likes and dislikes. I love the condensed header. Looks great. But the footer kind of interrupts the flow of the actionables, of the action items. I think there's a way for us to condense everything onto one page personally. And then you can see that some of the text is outside of the boxes near the top. Like you see that big empty white space below on the second page. I feel like we can condense all those line items to fit onto one page, right? By reducing the spacing a little bit from line to line. And then fixing, and then also our logo isn't showing up as well. And we've reached our limit. For the sake of just finishing this, let me log in with our other account here. Oh, I was logged in with the right account. Okay, so let's log in with our other one here. Stop, log in. There we go. And then it should tie us to team at ClearMud and not the veterinarian LLMO one, which, teaser, this tool, I'm launching one for the vet industry as well. But only after we obviously focus one industry at a time. All right, continue. There's like a buzz in the background of this background music. I thought there was a fly roaming around in here. Oh, there is. That sounds like a big boy too. Holy shit. Excuse my language, but that is massive. Is that a bee? This thing is huge. That is a bee. That is a bee. That is a massive bee. Holy shit, that's huge. Excuse my language. Bruh. All right. Sorry you guys had to witness that. That's live. We're keeping it. I'm not removing this episode. Wow. That stinger on that bee. Things like this big. Massive. Bigger than a quarter, easily. Probably like a $50. My goodness. Ooh. And here I thought it was the background music. Wow. Okay. Okay, let's test. It's deploying now. My goodness. Where did that thing come from? All the windows are closed here, unless it came from all that wood I brought back from the farm. It was just, maybe there's a little nest in some of that wood. Interesting. Wow. All right, now we get to test. Let's do a hard refresh here. And hopefully we can just pull from one of these. Okay, it's almost there. Now it's just too much spacing. Wow. All right, we're almost there. Now there's incredibly too much spacing. So please see the screenshot. I think finding a nice balance, right? Making sure that we don't have all that empty space, right? If there's any empty space, the deliverables should, fill the rest. But also everything's, the text is too small now. So I think kind of finding a middle ground between the last revision and this one. And also the summary, you can see how the summary and then build sophisticated semantic web integrations right below it. It's kind of like cut off, it's condensed, right? Let's fix that. Same with deliverables and then the line items. And then also our logo is still not showing up. Okay, and let's give it that. Man, that bee has got me. I hate bees. I know they're good for us. I know they're good for the planet. But do not be in my workspace like that with a stinger like that. That's not happening. That is not happening. I think I might do another live stream on Friday so we can get this launched before the weekend rather than waiting a whole nother week, because it is almost dinner time. And I think once we get this PDF dialed in, then we will kind of end things here. Yeah, and I think actually, just with how hungry I am, let's end the stream there. I think we're at a great stopping point. If you have any questions about this tool, drop a comment below. I'll make sure to update this bio. We'll live stream again on Friday. I'll go ahead and schedule that tomorrow after I'm done with the week's videos and editing and all this. And yeah, we're going to push this live. I think we're very, very, very close to going live, and we're going to be live before the weekend. And I'm excited. So hope you found some value in today's live stream. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you're building. Love to connect. Love to see what you're building. And yeah, thanks for tuning in to another Clear Mud live stream. I will catch you in 2 days' time. Cheers.